From deep inside the bowels of the Robinson Gearing Studio Complex and live at Apollo's Island, South Kakalaki, this is the Jake Robinson Sports Experience. What is up? It's your boy, Jake the Snake. I got your hook up. Holla if you hear me. What is going on? It feels like forever since we last talked, and still no movement in the meter going on the free agent market in baseball. I mean, you know, I come on here every single freaking week, and I tell you, this is just ridiculous. And I know you got to be right there with me, right? I mean, it's just madness. I can't believe it. Nobody is getting signed. I mean, it is just, I just can't even comprehend it. But anyway, it's your boy Jake the Snake Robinson, Jake Robinson Sports Experience. Hello, everybody. It feels like forever since we talked, right? My God. And like I said to you last week, I just kind of lean on you guys for, emotional and it's just love. I mean, support. I mean, it's just so, oh, God. I mean, my God. I'm stunned. 140 freaking free agents still on the market and no movement in the needle whatsoever. Raise your hand if you're just shocked by all this. I mean, it's incredible. So, I mean, what is there to talk about? Not much really at all. You know, Jake Robinson Sports Experience live on the Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network at Apollo's Island, South Kakalaki. And I guess before we dig into this, it's been a rather interesting week on the Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network Facebook page. Going through a little bit of growing pains. The trolls came in thick, right? Unbelievable. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I wanted to give a shout out to a couple guys that are on that page, as a matter of fact. We have this kid, Mike Ford, and he goes to Fresno State University as a sports writer. He's a diehard Giants fan, and I've read a couple of articles, and I think it's really, really good stuff. So I'm hoping that, we're family here. We support each other. We pick each other up. And I was very, surprised and happy to see a mention in one of his columns. And, I think some of you should really check it out, especially if you're a Giants fan. The guy really seems to know his San Francisco Giants. He's a diehard fan. And, even though he is against me in every, imaginable way you can think possible as far as this bet with Mikey Franks is concerned, the kid and I have, we've become pretty close, and he's a very good writer, so check him out. He's, you can follow him on Twitter at mfordcollegian, and it's a collegiate sports page. His name is Mike Ford. It's right on the Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network Facebook page, which is just out of control. I mean, simply out of control. So you can find his work there, and you can definitely follow him on Twitter at mfordcollegian. Now, there's another very talented individual in that room that I wanted to give credit to, and I see his articles on Twitter all the time. And his name is Brian Geller. And he's got a website on Twitter. Well, I'm sorry, he posts it on Twitter. It's called Dugout Chatter. And I read his stuff every week. He's got really interesting, great baseball stories. A lot of stuff about baseball cards on there. It's really good stuff. So, look, I implore you, check this guy out. Like I said, we're family. We look out for each other here. There's no ego in this place whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. So if you get a chance, check him out. It's at Dugout Chatter on the Twitter. And his name is Brian Geller, and the kid is super nice with it. I mean, he has got some really fascinating stories. I enjoy reading them very much. So I wanted to get that out of the way. And, not really much going on. It's a Jake Robinson Sports Experience, live at Apollo's Island, South Kakalaki. Not really a lot of things going on. I'm going to dig into a couple of the signings. you know, I'm probably going to look. As far as this whole collusion thing, and you guys know, everybody that's been listening to my show, and I'm going to ask you straight up, the guys that have been here from day one listening to me, did you guys hear anybody say the word collusion until I said it in that show? I'm telling you, I was one of the first out on this, and I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, and I'm really not, but, you know, I mean, shit is ridiculous. So we're going to dig into a little bit of that. What's going on the Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network Facebook page. And we're also going to have our first ever Kangaroo Court. Now, look, I'm really, really nervous, guys. I want to be honest with you. This could be one of the greatest podcast bits of all time, or it could be disastrous, like Hindenburg. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, what just happened to Jake? Well, that was a nice career while it lasted, right? So, look, I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready to do the first ever LTB Jake Robinson Sports Experience Kangaroo Court. And what we did was, I don't know if everyone here is familiar with a Kangaroo Court, but Kangaroo Court is basically, it's part roast, part mock trial, and I just saw a lot of hard feelings and a lot of really anger, misdirected anger directed at one another this week. And, look, it filled me up too. I wake up at like 7 in the morning and my mailbox is flooded with this guy's being a dick, that guy's being an asshole. I mean, it is just like, come on, man. So I want to get back to what this page was originally, what it was, what the view was. It's comprehensive baseball banter. The Let's Talk Baseball Podcast Network fan page on Facebook, I mean, it's blowing up so fast that sometimes it has growing pains. That is not a battleground Facebook page. We talk baseball. And yes, I invite every team in there. I don't care if you root for the Yankees. I don't care if you root for the Mets, the Red Sox. Look, anybody who knows me knows I'm not the biggest Red Sox fan in the world. But if you're a baseball fan and you're a Red Sox fan, welcome in. By all means, I don't care where you're from. Now, I saw a lot of disturbing stuff this week. I mean, we're human beings. Treat each other like human beings, for crying out loud. We're going to dig into that a little bit. But look, the reason for the Kangaroo Court was because, it was getting out of control. And I wanted to bring a little levity back to the room. Because this room is about family before it's about anything. We support each other in this room. And we made it a little tougher for people to get in now. And if you're not going to be a ride or die, I don't need you. The head and I sat around and we talked about how, we need this number. We need that number. By a certain time, we have goals. This is our number. And, I think we both had to take a step back and look at it and say, we need quality, not quantity. I want quality in here. And TJ told me an incredible number a couple weeks ago when we were sitting at 3,200, whatever it was. And he said, 2,400 people are active on this page every day. And that's what I'm looking for. Active, intelligent, comprehensive banter. And all this other stuff can go by the wayside. We're a family of love. We're a family of baseball and comprehensive banter. And I don't care what your team is, and it works both ways. Some people complain, I get treated like crap because I'm a fan of this team. Yeah, that's messed up, and I'm not digging that. But then some of those fans of the same team come on and say, yeah, I'm this fan, and you all suck, and we're going to destroy you. How's that taste in your mouth? So you brought it on yourself. Now stop it. We're all adults. So we're going to have the Kangaroo Court. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to laugh at each other, and I'm sure there'll be some surprises and twists and turns along the way. It's the Jake Robinson Sports Experience live at Pawleys Island, South Carolina on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I mean, it is gorgeous. I sit right on the 7th hole of a golf course, a well-manicured golf course, and, it's kind of funny watching the old guys out there in their slacks, knickers, hitting golf balls around. But, it's a beautiful day. So we're going to get the show started. It's the Jake Robinson Sports Experience. I got your hookup. Holler if you hear me. And look, I told you a couple weeks ago that we needed to enact a rule that, it's just people dying every week. I mean, have you noticed this? I mean, this year is starting off a lot like last year did. And that, there was a lot of deaths last year. And I think at the end of the year, I did a roll call of all the players in the baseball universe that died. And it was a whole list of them. And look, 2018 ain't starting off no better. It really isn't. Longtime baseball executive Kevin Towers died last Tuesday at the age of 56, finally succumbing to his battle against thyroid cancer. A well-respected man in the baseball community, especially in San Diego. San Diego had become like a second home for him. KT, or the gunslinger as he was known in baseball circles, like I said, he was beloved throughout the game for his passion, had a Ira talent and impeccable credibility, and was one of the more fearless dudes when it came to knocking down trades. I mean, some may say fearless, some may say reckless. But he believed in himself, and he believed in his theories, and he believed in his style. And he had no problems whatsoever in trading a person to acquire better talent for his team. Now, he was a former GM of the Padres and the Snakes. Started out as a scout. He was a pitching coach for Single-A Spokane Indians. And then he got hired as a scout for the Padres. And as he moved on in his progressions, he never forgot his roots in scouting. In fact, Kevin Towers would, he would drive town to town with a lot of these scouts, which is unheard of for a general manager to do that. And he would enjoy the long rides and talking baseball and talking talent. And he would personally sit next to this guy on a lot of these scouting trips. And that just doesn't happen for major league general managers, I'm telling you. He pitched for 8 years in the San Diego farm system from 1982 to 1989. He never got higher than AAA. And he finally retired. And like I said, he became a scout for the Friars. Now, when he was hired, he was the 7th GM in the history of the Friars. He spent 15 years as a GM in San Diego, 4 NL West titles, and a World Series appearance in 1998 against the New York Yankees. He then moved on to the Snakes, 5 years as a GM for Arizona, won the NL once. In fact, if I remember correctly, that first year he took over the Arizona Diamondbacks, they were awful. They lost like 97 games the year before. And then he turned it around, and he won 94 games in his first season as general manager of the Snakes, and he wins the NL West. Now, his final gig was a special assistant for the Cincinnati Reds in 2015. He made a ton of friends along the way, always regarded as, the coolest guy in the room. He's kind of like Jake the Snake in that way. I'm just kidding. I'm usually the biggest geek in the room. I'm the most social, awkward person you've probably met in your life. You may hear me on the radio and, I'm nothing like this. I'm a very awkward, socially person. I don't have a lot of confidence in myself, I think, when I'm around people. I just feel like a big goofball. But Kevin Towers certainly didn't have that problem. He was always regarded as one of the coolest guys in the room. And look, he had a little testiness to him. He would get mad